regular meeting to order. Latanya, could you please lead us for Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And also, could you please help us for roll call, please?
Yes. Councilmember Felder.
Here.
Councilmember Agramonte.
Here.
Vice Mayor Barnett.
Here.
Councilmember Lowe. Mayor Ding.
Here.
Thank you.
According to last City Council meeting, starting from this meeting, and hybrid City Council meeting is available. So that for anyone using the Zoom link from the previous agenda to access, a new link is available on the current agenda posted on the website. If you are still having problem accessing, the new webinar ID for Zoom is 8566004898. Let me repeat it. New webinar ID for Zoom is 8566004898. All right, let us go to the regular meeting, agenda number 1, public comments. Oh, yeah, I would like to, before that, I would like to, the
Recording in progress.
report any in the closed section. Today, we didn't have any in the closed section meeting, so nothing to report. And also, I would like to approve today's meeting's agenda. If any changes, anybody can move?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Felder.
Aye.
Councilmember Agramonte.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Barnett.
Aye.
Mayor Ding.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moves unanimously.
Let's move to agenda number 1, comments from the public. All this time, members of the public may comment on any item not appearing on this agenda. It is recommended that you keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. It's your time. All right, looks like the no in this room. Latanya, could you please check it if anybody on the Zoom?
Why aren't you stop sharing?
All right, thank you. Let me close public comments. Agenda number 2, meeting delegations. Okay, we don't have any in the meeting delegations. Let's move to agenda number 3, presentations. Today we don't have any in the presentations. Agenda number 4, consent in the calendar, City and Council. We have the 4.1, adopt an ordinance repealing the Sonoma Municipal Code, Chapter 2.02, campaign contributions and limitations, and then adding the Sonoma Municipal Code, Chapter 2.02, campaign and finance regulations, raising the contribution limits to $500 for both monetary and in-kind contributions. Assistant City Manager, could you please? Oh, this is Oh, yes, this is the consensus.
I'll pull it.
All right.
Was that a motion?
Yeah, you want to know, pull it out, because this is the consent. You know, in the calendar. Okay.
Should it go to the public first?
Yep. I'd like to open to the public. We want to pull the 4.1 out. Let me close the public comment. So then, right now, we can discuss agenda number 4.1.
Just briefly, before you on the consent calendar is the adoption of an ordinance that you introduced last week. This is a ordinance that imposes a $500 limit on contributions. It covers both monetary and in-kind contributions. The council, as I mentioned before, has already introduced it tonight or this afternoon. If it's the council's desire, a motion to adopt the ordinance stating the title, reading the title only, would be appropriate.
Thank you for your explanation. Yes, Vice Mayor Casobane.
I move that we adopt an ordinance repealing Sonoma Municipal Code, Chapter 2.02, Campaign Contribution Limitations, and adding Sonoma Municipal Code, Chapter 2.02, Campaign Finance Regulations, raising the contribution limits to $500 for both monetary and in-kind contributions.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Felder,
Aye.
Councilmember Agramonte,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Barnett,
Aye.
Mayor Dane.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-1.
Thank you. Let's move to agenda number 5. That is adjournment. All right. Yeah, let's close the meeting. Let's move to special meeting. Good evening, everyone. I would like to bring Sonoma City Council special meeting to order. Latanya, could you please help for the roll call, please?
Councilmember Felder,
Here?
Councilmember Agramonte,
Here?
Vice Mayor Barnett,
Still here.
Mayor Dane.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Agenda number 2, items for discussion. 2.1, discussion, consideration, and a possible action on proposal by the Sonoma Field of the Dreams nonprofit entity for a 3-year operations and maintenance agreement from the City of the Sonoma and approve in the fiscal year 22 to 23 general fund budget amendment in the amount of the $35,000 for the first year of agreement. Acting the city manager, could you please tell us the background information?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. As you know, the city leases the Field of Dreams to the Sonoma Valley Field of Dreams organization, which is a nonprofit, for $1 per year. And it's a 55-year lease that is due to expire in 2048. Under the terms of the lease, the Sonoma Valley Field of Dreams is responsible for the maintenance and operations of the sports fields and certain portions of the restroom building, mainly the interior of the restrooms that are located or situated on the property. However, Field of Dreams leadership has indicated that the costs for ongoing and deferred maintenance of the facilities has become unsustainable for the nonprofit organization and is requesting additional city financial assistance. The city currently provides funding to the Field of Dreams as a primary recreation provider under a separate agreement pursuant to the City Council adopted Recreation and Community Service Program funding policy. And the city also subsidizes the Field of Dreams by paying approximately $23,000 annually for watering the fields. Last budget year, in fiscal year 21-22, the city provided the Field of Dreams $15,000 for operations and providing these core recreation services, and an additional $25,000 in funding to cover the cost of repairing an aging irrigation system and some necessary tree work. For this fiscal year, 22-23, the city has budgeted $15,000 for core recreation services, but there was no additional funding allocated for maintenance. The agenda item before you tonight is to discuss and provide direction to staff regarding the following 4 questions. 1, does the City Council wish to grant a request from the Field of Dreams Board for a city budget amendment of an additional $35,000 for fiscal year 22-23 to help cover additional deferred maintenance costs?
I'm sorry, what was that number again? It's
$35,000. This would bring the total city subsidy to the Sonoma Valley Field of Dreams for this budget year to approximately $73,000. Does the second question is, does the City Council wish to enter into a new funding agreement with the Sonoma Valley Field of Dreams for fiscal years 23-24 and fiscal year 24-25 for annual subsidies of $15,000 for core recreation services and for $35,000 for deferred maintenance items for each of those years? This would bring the total that the city would contribute other than the water payments to $50,000 per year in those years, again, 23-24 and 24-25. Currently, under the City Council approved Recreation and Community Services Program Funding Policy Guideline, which was adopted under Resolution 15-2018, the city manager is authorized to execute 3-year contracts with 4 named recreation community service providers, including the Sonoma Valley Boys and Girls Club, the Sonoma Community Center, Vintage House, and the Sonoma Ecology Center. So the third question is, does the City Council wish to revise the guideline to allow the city manager to execute 2- or 3-year agreements with the Sonoma Valley Field of Dreams or other recreation or community service providers? And then the fourth question really is, would the City Council like to hear a presentation by the Field of Dreams Board at a future council meeting regarding a master plan for possible renovations and enhancements to the Field of Dreams facilities? So those are the items for you to consider tonight. Based on current projections in the city's 5-year general fund forecast, which is attached to the staff report, the city's general fund should be able to accommodate the funding requests made by the Sonoma Valley Field of Dreams. And staff will prepare any needed agreements or resolutions for City Council consideration at the next regular City Council meeting in August if necessary. And that concludes my staff report, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Wayne. So, any questions? I think it isn't necessary, and because out of the budget just based on the previous years, what we should do, and also right now, and after the pandemic, materials and the labor cost has been dramatically increased, and I would like to open to the public, see any comments from the community. Right now, I'm open to the public.
So they don't want us.
Yeah, no, but also we can check in the Zoom. Yeah. Okay.
Did you say unnecessary or necessary?
I see necessary. Yeah, I see
There are no
necessary.
raised hands, Mayor Dane, for Zoom.
Okay. If like this way, no any public comment from this room, and also no any public comments coming from the Zoom. That means close the public and the comments. Let me bring to council and more discussion,
Well-
or we're making a motion?
I'll start, and I think the members of the Field of Dreams board are here in case we have any questions. So perhaps the public hearing could be reopened again if we have
Sure.
questions. I don't know if we will.
Yeah.
And again, we're having this meeting as a result of my request. So thank you for whoever scheduled this meeting. Tomorrow, the Field of Dreams is having a board meeting, and at that board meeting, I think perhaps you could discuss this further, but for years, the Field of Dreams it's an all-volunteer organization. They do a lot of work out there providing recreational opportunities for the youth of the Valley and from the region that visit our fields. We're so lucky to have the Field of Dreams. It was clearly a community-based effort when it was built in the early 1990s. And as a result of just maintenance costs and a lot of other reasons, the Field of Dreams board, from what I understand, is just getting frustrated with the direction that the city has given them regarding other elements at the facility. And so tomorrow they are having a board meeting to discuss potentially dissolving the organization and ending their agreement with the city and handing the, for lack of a better term, fields back to us. I think that would obviously be bad for the city. And so I've been invited to go to this meeting tomorrow to hopefully persuade them otherwise. But I didn't know what the direction of the council or the city staff was. I didn't feel like I could speak on behalf of anyone but myself. And so I thought perhaps we could have a discussion. And obviously our interim city manager, Sue Casey, has put together some discussion points. And but ultimately, that's why we're here. Obviously, the Field of Dreams, at least from my perspective, is a invaluable community partner that does the organization does tremendous work for our city and the youth of our valley. And I think it would be a tragedy if the organization dissolved over this. And so I just wanted to get the council's input, not only on, or I guess Sue wants to get our input on these specific items here, but I just wanted to communicate to the Field of Dreams as a council what I wanted to be able to, go to this meeting tomorrow and speak on behalf of the council and the city, and I just wanted to see what that direction was.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks. It's interesting that I see this, and for me, Sonoma Valley Boys and Girls Club, Sonoma Community Center, Vintage House, and Sonoma Ecology Center. There's a vast difference between what you do and what they do. And I don't think it's a funding issue for me. I'll tell you what I think it is. I can't find your reporting documents for the IRS, and I think they stopped in 2016. However, it may be wrong. I could be wrong. I love being corrected, so I know that you probably would like to do that. The other thing that's an issue for me, I don't think our funding is going to help you survive, because I think what you need is to actually run your organization like a real nonprofit with fundraising, marketing, social outreach. And I will volunteer myself and other services for you to be able to get to that point. That's what I believe you need. It's outside the realm, because the comparison with Field of Dreams, which you're absolutely right, Vice Mayor, is a wonderful service, but it in no way, in my mind, compares to these organizations that you would be matching with the tier. I would be willing to maybe possibly fund the first year, but not multiple years, because as I said, your issues are really with the organization itself. And after all these years, I feel that what you really need is help on how to put your nonprofit together the way that it should be run, possibly run. I think it's wonderful to do volunteer work, but there are other things you could be doing. I understand you want to be going into a huge program of renovations and things like that, but I can't support that at this time, unless I'm convinced that you're able to really handle something like this, because that's how I feel. I'm a nonprofit person. My master's degree is in nonprofits. I looked at your 10 no, sorry,
I-990.
I-990. I didn't get past year 2016, and maybe I'm wrong, but those are the things that I've seen. So if you can show me different, I will be very comfortable. But I still can't feel comfortable funding 3 years.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilmember Agramonte. I have a question. Have you, filing the previous year's tax return, or is it the status still is, active? What is current status? I'm sorry, I didn't do the homework just like Councilmember Agramonte did. Could you please?
I personally file the tax return myself.
Okay. Yeah, could you please, come to,
They're not even listed.
yes.
I'm Marty Herrick. I'm the treasurer.
Okay.
I have a degree in accounting and finance. I've run 2 businesses before I've started myself, so I am aware how to run a company. We do put a lot of effort into this entity. I think a lot of the council members probably don't understand the background of our entity and what we do, but we are very diligent in filing our tax returns. We are active, so I don't, whatever information you would need from that.
Okay. You are active, that means because as far as I know, and you said, and also I have the, compliance in the background.
Yeah.
And if any, have you done a check with the Department of Justice, California, and Franchise Tax Board, and Secretary of the State, and also RS. RS, I know that maybe you just check in the guy that start,
there's
Secretary
no
of it.
name.
Yeah, no name.
Yeah, we file our statement of informations with the state of California when it's required every 2 years. We file our tax returns every year on time. I've not ever received a notification that we're not active from either the IRS or the Franchise Tax Board. So,
Okay.
I mean, I guess my question would be, what is, I guess, the point of bringing all that up?
The
in
point, if you can't
Can
run
I-
a business, why should you get more money?
But I think and that's one way to look at it.
Yes, you're
But
a
it-
businessman. If you couldn't run your business, you wouldn't have a business.
So this is a group of volunteer parents that have kids at home
Right,
that basically, from what I understand, do a lot of maintenance on our fields free of charge, like on the weekends as, moms and dads.
So-
And, I mean,
last year in 2021, our volunteers provided over $43,000 of volunteer work, bringing down their own personal equipment from their companies, spending our hours down there because we didn't have the funds. You have to remember, Madeline, in 2020, the entire board resigned because of all the issues that were taking place here at the complex with the homeless issues. They were on the board for 20 years. We went to a board meeting just to check in with them. They only meet once a year, and they all announced they've resigned. So 8 of us stepped up and took over the position. We had to go in defensive mode right away because they only had a small amount of money left in the account. They were running at a deficit for over 10 years straight. So we had to cancel a lot of our service contracts and start doing all the work ourselves. This is how you run a business to be survival. If I don't have the money, I have to cancel my contracts. We provided we didn't cut back on services. We provided all the work ourselves. As a volunteer group, though, it's not sustainable year after year to continue to ask us to volunteer when the deferred maintenance on this facility hasn't been done since 1992. The irrigation system's outdated, the trees have never been trimmed or canopy management. There's a lot of things out there that infrastructure is done. So we need to, for it to be sustainable, we need to outsource more of our services to people that are contractors that know how to do the work. Okay? And that's what we're trying to do here. I mean, we have over $70,000 of deferred maintenance sitting there that just hasn't been done. We want to start outsourcing. We were cleaning the bathrooms ourselves. Okay, we outsourced that. We were doing the cutting of the fields and landscaping ourselves. So I think we've done a pretty good job of running this from what we had, and we're going in the right direction. But then COVID hit, and we didn't have any revenue from our youth organizations. So there's over 2,000 kids that use that facility. So I kind of take a little bit of offense when I'm being told I don't know how to run the business. We are getting there. You know, it takes a while. We got a website. We're just getting established. We are going to start doing more marketing and fundraising. But that's not going to get us to a position of a cash flow for our operations to fund these other deferred maintenance. That's why we're here asking, one, to cover deferred maintenance. Two, give us the ability not to have to volunteer so much and spend more times with our families so we can outsource more of these services. That's all we're asking for. So, we are developing more operational and business plans as we go, so.
Well, and that's exactly what I'm asking for. For you to be able to be viable as a nonprofit. And I think it's wonderful that you have volunteers, and those are actually bookable hours. It's like a non-paid staff.
Yeah.
So as I said, I would be more comfortable if I saw that you had recent I-990. I guess it would be for 20. Would it be 20 or 21?
Yeah, 2020. Yeah, 2020. I'm not sure on what kind of your calendar year or fiscal year you're filing the cycle.
We're fiscal year.
Okay, so the starting from the July 1st.
Yes,
right?
correct.
Okay. I have a question. How much money for the last fiscal year you raised the money, including cities support? 15,000.
Yeah.
How much? Total?
So I wasn't prepared for this because I thought we were going to come back to August 3rd meeting to go over the pro forma, which I
Okay.
actually, just so you know, I turned that in last November. And why we're standing here talking about today is you know, it's been a long, arduous process because I came to the city manager back in November of last year.
Mm-hmm.
I re-upped our pro forma that I provided in February. I provided the bids for all our deferred maintenance in March, and then from March to now, it went silent. And I just found out on May 27th that we're only going to be included for $15,000 and not the 50 we requested, that we'd have to then come back in July, have another meeting to approve our pro forma, and then get on the council meeting. So I was not prepared to go over our pro formas. I'm not sure if anyone shared them with you. I tried to put it very extensive.
Maybe you misunderstand my question. My question is very simple. One is the income, gross income for the last fiscal year. If
Okay.
not already for the last fiscal year, and how about before? Most of the province.
Yeah, I can tell you, but
Yes.
I gave this to the city, the pro forma, multiple times, so I thought it was shared amongst everyone, so I apologize.
All right.
So,
But here, my understanding is the council member Agremonte
yeah,
and support you guys nonprofit, but when we issue approve any funds, and your status and compliance also is number one important. And also we are using the local tax monies, and also for sure we are considered in the place because when we put in the budget, we classified as a nonprofit. So for sure you are truly nonprofit. Nonprofit, we have the different factors to approve. Yes. Basically, I agree, and also Kelso and Agremonte agree to support. Just do some
well, I'm happy to set up a separate meeting with you to go over our financials, because I thought everyone.
Yeah, it's
I
easy.
just want the I-990.
Yeah, 990. Yeah.
Okay.
Usually it will be available any time. So-called guide star. Website. Type it into your business name and the tax ID, EIN numbers. You can pop it out.
Yeah.
If your income below the $50,000, it will be simple. Yeah. Much simple.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, our annual top-line revenue is around $20,000.
Okay.
Then
Yeah.
that was from the youth
20,000.
organizations.
Yes.
And then we have the city contributions on top.
If not below the $50,000, that is different in the filing requirements. Yeah. Yeah. So that is a very basic. If not ready, a lot of the time, nonprofit, the short of the hands, this kind of profession, the missed couple of years of return. Yes, always it happen. We just fix it and then let it be compliant.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
I have
Yes.
a question. How much would you estimate your organization saves the city every year through your volunteer services?
Well, I guess that's the question back, what it would cost. I've asked this question multiple times, and it won't be answered by the city, but I'm not sure what your cost structure would be to, if you were to manage this. It's not just cutting the grass and weed eating. We deal with over a dozen youth organizations, so we have to we have to have agreements on hand with them, we have to get their insurance policies. We have to do all the field scheduling with each of those organizations for all their practices and games. Tournaments, we have 6 tournaments out here this year. 2 of them are for local, and the other one's from out of town that use our facility. I would guess, if subtract your $50,000 contribution, you're going to be another 100 to 125. I would guess at your operational cost level, and I'm guessing, don't quote me, but I'd guess 2.5 to 3 times of what it cost us to run it.
And does anyone on your board, or do you have any staff that's paid?
No.
Right.
That's good.
Thank you.
That's good. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you have any, person, especially in the charge of the bookkeeping?
That's myself.
That is yourself?
Yes.
Filing taxes? Okay, that's good.
Yeah. I can't afford to pay anyone to do that.
Yeah, I see. All right.
But we'd like to outsource that. It's in my pro forma.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Maybe you could do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I did a lot of, nonprofit, local nonprofit for volunteer work,
That'll
yeah.
give you a great insight to
Yeah,
it.
sure, yeah, that is the reason. If you have any issues, I'm able to help you to get compliant, because this is my job, that I make a living on that. But for you guys, yeah, just volunteer, easy, simple.
But
Yeah.
so the answer might be because they're not
Yes.
making the revenue.
Yes.
You don't have to report.
Yeah.
We do report.
But we needed to,
But
still.
I'm not clear on that because I didn't find them.
Is there a form, I hate to go down the
Yeah.
Form 990 rabbit hole here, but is there a minimum requirement?
It's a business.
Yeah.
It's
And
necessary in
You-
I-90.
even if you don't
But
have any
I was just going to
income.
ask, is there a minimum requirement? Like,
I
you don't
just
have to
said
file? Yeah.
No.
I just said
You,
that.
yeah.
Under 50,
And
I think.
I think it
yes,
depends.
Argumenti said,
Isn't it-
even you don't have any income, you are required to report. Even the zero tax return, you need to
It just
report.
depends what form you
Keep it a
use, the
status.
990 EE
Yes.
or the regular traditional Form 990.
That is right.
Yes.
That is right. Yeah, if the below the 50,000, and you can file the 990 postcard. Simple, just list it on the income below the 50,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
I can show those filed tax returns. So.
sure. Yeah.
Here is how I feel. I'm sorry, I have to challenge you because, yes, I do. This isn't my money. This is taxpayer money. And I want to make sure that the money that's given to you is actually going to a nonprofit. So now I found out you really don't make, and that's fine. I've been part of a lot of nonprofits that don't make the minimum. But the issue for me is that I want you to be successful. You do wonderful work, but you need to be more on a success trail.
We are.
And that's why I said I would volunteer to help you. I would get other people that would help you to be able to get where you need. I can't do bookwork, I can't do accounting, but I do marketing and fundraising. Those are the things that you need. And I know the other organizations that have that, do all of those things. So
Are they all volunteer-based too, as well?
it's regardless of volunteer. They have tons of volunteers, I'm sure, I've volunteered for Boys and Girls Club, not here, somewhere else. I volunteer at the library, all of those things. But my point is, and I'll make a real point, I will actually be willing to fund 1 year if, and you don't even have to show me documents, but I can't go any further than that unless you show the documents.
This is the
Pardon me?
tax returns you're referring to.
Well, it's just an I-990 or the card that you
Yes,
said.
is actually 990, or each of the tax return, IRS receive it, and because this is a nonprofit,
Yeah.
is required to public. Anybody and enter your name, your organization name, and the EIN number. Tax return will be automatically popped out.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's very easy. This is number one. Number two, if you check the Secretary of State website, same thing. You enter it into
Right.
corporation number,
Right.
and then the name, it will show you, oh, status is active.
Correct.
And then if you go further, you'll go to the Department of Justice and also do the same thing. They will show you, oh, you are compliant. We already received so many years. If any year that are missing, they will show you this account is suspended or not active,
Yeah.
but we need to fix.
Yeah.
And
Yep. I just came across that. I was notified by the IRS that the prior bookkeeper did not file taxes for 2017, which I did and got them right back in filing
okay,
correctly.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, going to back and filing the back taxes always, they're not common, very common. Yeah.
so that was rectified, but since I've been on the board, I've filed tax returns every year. So,
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
any more
So
questions?
I actually think, I mean, I can't assume, but I feel that there's support from this council. As I said, I support 1 year only, but this council can decide what they'd actually
Sure.
like to do. I think it's a good organization, and in your benefit, to your defense, nonprofits are businesses. You will probably know that already. I don't need to say it. But nonprofits don't like to you do the books, which is great. They don't like to do marketing. They don't like to do social outreach. They don't like to do any of those things. So it's not uncommon to find yourself in this position.
Yeah, we do have someone that's heading up that position, so.
Well,
Well, the Field of Dreams Board is, I believe, one of the questions our city manager has asked us to address tonight. They have put together a master plan for the future of their facility with a pro forma and sort of a business plan, for lack of a better term, and they are asking this council and the city to be partners in that effort. Obviously, they would like an extension of their lease. I don't think we can talk about that tonight, but at some point in the future, we have been asked to extend their lease so they can go out to our philanthropic community and with the assurances they've had an extended lease and all the entitlements they need for any improvements they're going to make. And so I think Councilwoman Agramonte, they understand that and they have that plan all together. They, as Marty said, has sort of submitted that to the city last November and it hasn't really gone anywhere. And so I think we're at the point to sort of discuss that. And then just in terms of nonprofits, I guess it's just a different way of looking at it, like in the sense that, of course, the Field of Dreams is a nonprofit, but it is, again, a group of parents that are volunteers, and they're just trying to, from my perspective, just working as hard as they can to continue to provide these opportunities to the youth of our valley. And as Marty just said, they are saving the city, in my view, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And, they aren't out there marketing and raising money because they've got kids at home and they're just trying to provide these opportunities for the kids. And they don't have, nonprofits are sort of their own industry. I mean, when you talk about 990s, the Tier 4, SOS, all these people have, salaries and in a way it's sort of refreshing to me to hear just a group of volunteers, parents coming together to help out the city. And so I guess it's just different approach. Like I hear this and I think, oh wow, I wish all of our nonprofits were like this.
well,
Yeah.
we do have volunteers,
Yes.
not
Well, no,
just
I know,
them.
but
Here is totally two
Well, here-
questions.
Yeah.
What did the Vice Mayor Council Bonanna said? A lot of the passion, a lot of the volunteer work. That is absolutely, we very much appreciate. But right now we are an organization. We are the nonprofit. That is the business word or the legal word. Yeah. We try to be, this organization and the street. That is because if, this organization's mission, it's the value. Everybody agree. We work for that. But I believe that if our city council will agree with this additional fund, basically I personally agree. And this kind of fund, whatever, 1 year or 3 years. But before that, we need to go back and look at it's the status. It's a little bit tricky, and if it's not fixed, if it is not compliant, even somebody else, donors, made a contribution of $5,000 or $10,000 to your organization, they cannot issue acknowledgement letter, which could be used as the tax benefits when they prepare the tax return. So this way, city government to support you and also to help you and get in a regular track. Maybe just like you said, no any problem, but we should make it sure, double check.
So I have a question again. So since I don't think I was around when the agreement was made. I know that Mr. Stone and Carolyn Stone were generous enough to do this. They're the ones that found the money and did all of that. So in the initial agreement, is that their commitment to do take care of the field and all of that other stuff? I don't know who has an answer to that. It's not anything that would change my opinion, but that's just what I want to know.
Under the terms of the current lease, the responsibility for maintenance is put on the Sonoma Valley Field of Dreams.
Okay.
Okay.
So we could always
Yeah,
reverse
Mr.
roles.
yes.
You could always reverse roles. Don't give us the money.
Mm-hmm.
You do all the deferred maintenance with your city staff. That's an option.
Council Member Felder?
I've been silent,
please.
but I would like to speak on this matter. First of all, I think the city has been negligent in ignoring the item and passing by the item and not acting on the item over a number of months. And that's not the problem for the Field of Dreams. They've been left hanging there with this lack of support. They've been willing to talk about it, and so I think it's our fault for not addressing it much sooner than this. I fully support funding them for the additional $35,000 for this next fiscal year to handle some of the maintenance. And I would certainly entertain and ask for a presentation by Field of Dreams at the August meeting to lay out their master plan and give us an idea of what they intend to do and how they intend to do it. And I would be willing at that point to entertain the multi-year agreement to let them move forward and possibly even extend the terms of the lease agreement. I think that we should get a report from the Field of Dreams to give us an indication of what they're doing. But I think at this point, certainly I want to move forward with the money for this next fiscal year and then come back in August and have the further discussion.
Is that a motion,
Yes.
Mr. Felder?
I could make that a motion.
If you could make a motion, but I just put one condition.
Let's see if he does make the motion and if there's a second. Then you can you can make an amendment to the motion if you'd like.
I make a motion to fund the Field of Dreams for the additional $35,000 for fiscal 22-23, and to consider upon a presentation by Field of Dreams in August to enter a multi-year contract and perhaps extend the term.
And I'll second that.
Would you include in that motion direction to staff to work the agreement up for the one-year extension for approval at the August meeting?
Yes.
Thank you. Does the seconder approve that?
Yes.
Roll call, please.
Can I ask
Oh,
a
yeah, sure.
question? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask another question of Mark?
Okay. Yeah, Marty. Yeah. Mhm.
You said that there's $70,000 in deferred maintenance. Is $35,000 going to be enough?
Well, we've been holding on to so last year's budget monies that were allocated to the Field of Dreams, it took all the way to this March to receive the funds. So those funds we've been deploying right now. 35, well, the 15 plus the 35 will work for this year, for what we have scheduled for maintenance.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, thank you. And I just wanted to say, I view this very similar to the Depot Park Museum. It's
Yes.
contracted with
Yeah.
the Historical Society, and just in our last budget, even though they are, per their agreement, responsible for all maintenance, I believe, funded the, was it a roof repair or
Yes,
some gas line
air
situation?
condition.
Yeah, maybe the roof
Yes.
repair was somewhere else. And so, on occasion, we do step up and, help our nonprofits. So.
All right, we have the motion, we have the second, and we, the roll call the first, but I do have the one condition. I know we have another second, and a motion, or I can put together.
You need to make a motion to amend the motion that's now been seconded. Do you wish to amend the motion that's on the floor?
Okay.
So what is the amendment you propose?
I prefer, before the city release the fund, make sure the status, the legal status for the Field of the Dream, everything is in compliant with the RS, with the California and the State Franchise Tax Board, California and the Secretary of State, and also Department of the Justice, that is charitable trust in the fund. That is easy. You just check it, and then everything is okay. Boom, 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 and then that is my suggestion, because this is and also we should, when we prepare this and the budget, that is we directed this in a fund go to the nonprofit organization, so that we should make sure that is truly is a nonprofit organization. It's a status.
I'm willing to accept that amendment.
Is the seconder willing to accept that amendment?
Yes.
Can
Yeah,
I
go
also
ahead.
add some thoughts on that? So, obviously, I don't want to argue against that in the sense that clearly I want everything
Yeah.
on the up and up, but I don't think we've ever required that for any other nonprofit organization. And I guess my primary concern is, again, this board of directors is having a meeting tomorrow, and literally I think the topic of the meeting is, they're considering dissolving their organization, and I just don't want the members of the Field of Dreams to walk away thinking that, okay, well, we, approved money here, et cetera, but we were like, are you a real nonprofit? Where's your 990? Do you know what you're doing? This is and I, to me, feel like we should be giving them flowers for all of the volunteer work they do for our community, and I just don't know what message they have received from us today.
Yeah.
And so I'm a little concerned about our approach to the Field of Dreams here. And again, I don't even know what the I mean, clearly we're going to decide something here, but I don't know. Again, we haven't required.
Yeah, to be honest.
Well, through the mayor.
Yes.
Can I have Marty come back up, please? Is adding that amendment to provide or to investigate whether you've met all the compliance requirements, is that onerous to you at this point, or is that something you think that is a slam dunk?
I'm happy to perform those steps if that's what you're requiring. I don't have a problem with it.
And obviously, we want you to be compliant. We all want
Yes,
you to be
we
compliant.
I want us to
we
be
just want to
compliant.
help you.
I know, but
to be compliant.
It's more just, I guess, the message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want you to go into a meeting tomorrow and say, oh, they just dumped another thing in our laps and it's just not worth it and we're just going to pay it.
I'm used to it at this point. So,
Yeah. Please don't say anything, just let the plane and our tape. We fully support, everyone fully support, no any negative.
But I want to remind everyone, I didn't say that was necessary for the first year's funding to do this. We do need that information. And the other, I don't even know what corporations do, but I do know nonprofits have to comply.
Yes.
And they're a business, even though they're fuzzy, a lot of them are nice and fuzzy. We even have a fawn nonprofit. So, and they are a 501c3. But I just want, when you do go to the meeting, I said it's okay the first year not to have to deal with this. But, and I understand, but they
Well,
do.
Through the mayor.
Yes.
If
What's her name?
Councilmember Agramonte
Yeah.
is willing to let it go for this first year, and would you be willing to withdraw that amendment for the first year and have him provide that information in the August meeting?
That seems fair.
Yeah, how do you, yeah, that's.
I'm fine
yeah,
with
that is
that.
fine. Yeah,
I mean,
because
we're
we
already
could-
sending them
Yes.
$15,000,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you know.
And then
So-
if it's truly necessary, we can have another special meeting. We discussed, give you the
So-
quicker funding also is available.
I'm just trying to keep it a little cleaner this
Sure,
time.
cleaner.
So-
I appreciate
Yeah,
that,
we-
because as I said.
We're sending money to a volunteer organization to provide maintenance on our property.
That they
Yes,
agreed
that is right.
to maintain
Yes.
in their initial contract.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to withdraw that amendment to the motion.
Sounds like that's what the council wishes, and then we'll make that note in the record, that a motion does not include the requirement that they be fully compliant before the money is funded to them
Thank you.
for the first year.
So Ryan, yeah, go ahead. So now, clear? All right, yes, roll call. Yeah.
Councilmember Felder,
Yes.
Councilmember Agramonte.
Yes,
Vice Mayor Barnett,
I
Mayor Dane.
Yes,
Motion carries 4-1.
thank you. Congratulations, Namadi. Yeah. All right, so then let's move to,
Mayor Ding, if I may, there's one clarification regarding this discussion, and that is related to a revision of the guidelines that the council adopted related to community service programs, and whether or not you have any interest in moving forward with amending that policy, or whether you'd like to keep the policy the way it is and address these issues on a case-by-case basis.
I would suggest maybe we have the August meeting, if not possible, you can prepare a staff report and see if anything we needed to improve or update, work with the field of the dream, and then we can, try to put in a resolution approved again, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to actually look at amending the policy.
Yes, yeah.
Not just for the Field of Dreams, by the way, but there are other nonprofits.
Other
And I just
nonprofits. Mm-hmm.
want to talk about how we treat our nonprofits. Obviously, we have these
Yeah.
top four.
Yeah.
Um,
First tier, yeah.
Yeah, but why are those the top four?
Mhm.
Maybe they should be, maybe they shouldn't. I just would like to talk
Yeah.
about that.
That's good.
I actually thought we weren't in the tier systems anymore, but maybe because were they all recreation?
There were four specifically named groups in your policy, and those are the only ones that the city manager is authorized to execute a 3-year agreement on.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's the issue here is if you want to
Right.
revisit that policy to provide more flexibility,
Yeah.
the staff can prepare a report.
And I would imagine a history of those organizations might put them there in that tier one.
Yeah. And make sure they have a Form 990, please.
Well, that's pretty funny, but if you run a business, do you have a social security card?
I do.
Okay, that's it.
All right, anyway, yeah, thank you, everyone. Let's move to agenda number 3, adjournment. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, it's time
Thank you.
for us to go to the farmer's market.
Oh, that's right,
Yeah.
it's so much.
So, check your inbox, I think we've already emailed.